So, what's it like driving a 25-year-old Mazda Miata? It's actually pretty cool. So I made a video of this car previously to talk about what it had for features and condition and everything, and I gotta be honest, I love this car more than I thought I would. It had just over 54,000 miles on it a week ago. It now has over 56,000, so I've been driving the hell out of this car, and I probably shouldn't, but I don't care. This car really should be preserved in a garage, you know, covered up and everything, but it was built to be enjoyed, and that's exactly what I'm doing with it. It's been kind of a pretty extensive getting to know you phase with this car, getting to learn its quirks and characteristics. The clutch is good and strong. The engine runs as smooth as glass. I mean, it's just a good driving vehicle. The suspension's a little soft. It could probably stand to replace the shocks and struts. I forget, I think it's double wishbone front and rear. This has a really nice suspension setup on it. Maybe in a year or two. Maybe in a year or two, I might, you know, put new struts and shocks or whatever the hell this car uses. Yeah, but say the suspension's a bit soft. I probably would do the suspension bushings at the same time. Get all that done. It's an old car, so it's going to need stuff like that. Hopefully my new radiator comes in. I got to get that done. The radiator's not leaking at all, but I'm going to be doing a timing belt, so I figured I might as well do the whole 9 yards at the same time. The belt, tensioner, water pump, radiator, hoses, kind of a lot of while you're in there kind of stuff. This does have all the original hoses in the radiator, so, you know, they're on borrowed time. They really are. But everything else about this car is absolutely perfect. I just took the door panels off to tighten up the speakers that were kind of loose and vibrating. Oh, I just had nice cornering there. This is a lot of fun. But anyway, while I was in there, I lubricated the window tracks and the regulator. The windows go up and down a little bit nicer. Owning an old car is not as simple as a new car. I mean, you don't just put the key in the hole and start it and go to wherever you're going. There's a lot of things that you got to deal with, no matter what it is, no matter how many miles are on it. An old car is still an old car, and things get old, they leak, they break, they crack, you know. That just comes with the territory, I guess. You know, one of the things that drives me nuts about autonomous driving and the push towards autonomous driving, even though it has some benefits, especially to people who are unable to drive for whatever reason. Autonomous driving is one of those things that can only work, I believe, if it's all or nothing. That means nobody drives. All cars are driven electronically by servos and motors and computers. There will be no human drivers. I mean, I just don't see that working. You can't coexist with machines like that. There you let it go, I'm sorry. So, I just don't see that as being a reality where humans and machines can coexist on the road. What's my point? Well, here it is. I think a lot of people they're pushing for autonomous driving because they don't enjoy driving. And I have a theory. The people who are pushing for autonomous driving all own Toyota Camrys, Hyundai Sonatas, and Chrysler 200s. That's what I'm thinking. You know, and they don't enjoy driving because none of those cars are enjoyable to drive. You know, the purpose of a modern car seems to be to isolate you rather than integrate you into the driving experience. To isolate you from the experience rather than making it a part of the fun, you know? A car like a Mazda Miata, a Toyota MR2, you know, some of the older Honda Civics, Prelude, those are cars that you can enjoy driving. You get in the car, it's not about getting there quickly. It's about getting there and having the most fun while getting there. Yeah? Okay. Yeah, it made sense when I dreamt it up in my head. But these cars are about driving. They're not about comfort. They're not about speed. This car is not a fast car by any stretch. It's like the whole point of owning a car like this is to enjoy the experience of the open road. You've got the sun in your face. My face is completely burnt off. You've got the trees above you. You've got the wind in your hair, or what's left of your hair. You've got just so much experience. Not only that, but the way the car handles. You can feel the curves, you can feel the bumps, and you really have to be interactive. You have to shift when you need to shift, downshift when you need to downshift, and upshift when you need to upshift. And you have to know when to do it and what technique to use. I mean, it's all about the experience of driving a motor vehicle. The experience of motoring. And if you live in a crappy area, like, you know, well, I'm not saying that an urban area is a crappy, well, what I'm saying is, in terms of driving experience, driving a car like this through a congested city, for example, is what I'm not saying, you know what I'm saying. Driving a car like this through an area that's congested, that's not fun. You buy a car like this, if you live in an area that you can really open it up and enjoy the surroundings. I live in the country. I love living in the country. But, you know, that's really what it's all about. So, yeah, the push towards autonomous driving, I think every one of those people who are working for an autonomous project or startup or what have you, they need to get behind the wheel of a 25, 30-year-old Miata, or even a brand new one. A manual, not an automatic. And they need to just go out for a drive and then realize when we go full autonomous, this is all going to go away. You won't be able to enjoy driving anymore. It'll be just one of the, it's like waking up in the morning and making toast, you know? Hop into the shuttle car and press go and sleep. I mean, it's like, now there are days when I, you know, on my way home from work or on my way to work, where, you know what, I wish I could just press the go button and have the car wake me up when I get there. I mean, I do have those days, but that's not every day. And like I said, when we go autonomous, it's going to be full autonomous. It's not going to be, and if you have to, and if you are a human driver, like there will be human drivers, but they'll be specially trained. You'll need a special permit, probably more advanced than a current driver's license, and you'll need a reason to drive. Now, that will happen in my lifetime, certainly, but, you know, I just hope that, you know, it doesn't really, I don't know, it'll be interesting to see how that works. So, taking a downshift here, going up a hill. This car is such a joy to drive. I mean, and, you know, the funny thing is, going from this car to my 2014 Hyundai Elantra GT, which is a nice little, I gotta be honest, it's such an underappreciated car in terms of what's out there today for compacts or, you know, hatchbacks. I think the Hyundai Elantra GT is a terrific car. But I get into that thing from this car, and I feel like I'm in a bus. It's like going from one of those little Shriner cars, you know, into a freaking bus. I mean, the car is enormous compared to this Miata, and more comfortable. And I gotta say, I have to admit, the Elantra GT does corner a little bit nicer than this Miata, but I attribute that to suspension components that aren't 25 years old and modern technology and chassis tuning. But, you know, don't quote me on that. But again, in the Miata's credit, it does have the worst tires you can put on a car. They're Chinese, no-name tires. They're junk. So that might have something to do with it. But the Elantra GT is a highly underappreciated car. And I would put it against this Miata any day, and it would probably beat it. It has a 6-speed automatic that shifts exactly when it needs to every time. You know, the Miata is limited to human input, and it's only a 5-speed manual, so it also doesn't like to be pushed, as I mentioned earlier. That third gear synchro, I'm a little concerned about it, but it's not bad. It's not really like worth dealing with at this point. If you shift it like that, oh, it's great. But as soon as you really start pushing it, it's like you get this little kick in the shifter. But you really got to kind of push it to get that. Now, that is a common problem with these 5-speeds, at least. I think even the 6-speeds have that problem when they get older. But from what I've been reading, there's if you use Motorcraft gear oil, I don't know exactly what, I forget which one it is, but there's a very specific gear oil that you're supposed to use in these, and it actually saves the synchros and really improves the shift quality. So it could be a little bit of that, and it, you know, allergies are starting to get to me. Hiccup. Yeah, like that. Anyway, this car is... I've just never had so much fun on 4 wheels in my life. Driving a first-generation Miata does give you a lot of looks. I get a lot of looks in this car from a lot of people. Those who know what a first-gen Miata is and those who don't. And you can usually tell. But I'm not used to getting any attention in my cars at all. I mean, I mostly drive, you know, regular daily drivers, you know, like Hyundais and Nissans, but I've never really gotten any attention in those, not that I wanted to. Not that I wanted to when I bought this, but I always get looks in this car. But you know, those who know what it is really appreciate it, because these first-generation Miatas are getting hard to come by in this condition. Like I mentioned in my last video, almost all of them are destroyed from either rust or neglect. This car has neither. It's a very well-maintained and well-cared-for automobile. That will be an antique next year, officially. So, this is, by the way, this is a good portion of my daily commute. And my entire commute to work, to and from, is just like this. Every day. It's great. And no traffic lights, no stop signs, really, 1 or 2. it's about a half an hour cruise one way. And my allergies are really kicking in, as you can tell. Yeah, that's not cool, but whatever. This is it, man. This is the life. Anyway, if you find a great deal on a used Miata, buy it. You won't regret it. Unless you're over 6 feet tall, and then you will regret it. But if you're not, if you're a hobbit like me, I think the maximum height this car was designed for was like, I don't know, 5'8". So, I mean, even I'm a short guy, and even I can just see below the visor. It's a tiny car. But Jay Leno owns one and loves it, so he's a pretty tall guy, so, you know, compared to me. So maybe it's not so bad. I think Jay Leno has an I think he's got a 90 or a 91. I'll have to rewatch that segment, but I know he bought one new, and he made an entire segment on the Miata, so, yeah. The car's got some street cred, and there's a lot of enthusiasts for these things. But definitely look into getting one. If you guys, any of you guys are looking for something just to have fun with, just buy an old beater. You know, buy an old beater Miata. You can get them for like $1,500 in running condition. And just enjoy the hell out of it. You won't regret it. You really won't. I'm glad I bought the old one. I was going to buy a brand new one. But like, I really don't want to get into another car payment. But, you know, if I wanted it bad enough, I would have. I like this. I paid cash for this car, and I'm loving every minute of it. It cost less than 1/3 of the price of a brand new one, so you can't beat that. You really can't. And I think I'm having more fun in this than I would with a new one. Just because it requires that old car tinkering and finesse and tender love and care. You get to become one with the car. You get to bond with it mechanically. And that's what makes car ownership even more fun. You can't love a Tesla like that. Maybe you can, maybe you can't. I don't know. Check out Rich Rebuilds. He actually does fix Teslas, and he seems to enjoy it, so... Anyway, thanks for watching. I can't do it one-handed, I tried. I can't do it one-handed. But you can raise and lower the top if you don't unzip the rear window, which you're supposed to do. Don't tell anybody I did that. You can lock in the top like that. There we go. Yeah. The windows up. Look how nicely they work now. Now, I noticed that when you roll them up with the top in the up position, the door seals kind of get munched a little bit. So what I like to do is open and close the doors. Yeah, there we go. What that's going to do is going to reseat the door seals so that they're in the proper position. But that only happens, I guess, when you put the windows up and down. But yeah, earlier today I had taken the door panels off and lubricated the tracks and the motors and the cables and everything. They work nicely now, much nicer than they did before. One of the downfalls to owning a car like this is that every short trip you take, like let's say I need to go to the store and pick up a gallon of milk, I wind up going to a store 3 states over because it's longer. It's a longer drive. There's no such thing as a short trip in one of these. You just kind of keep going until you get bored, which never happens. So, you know, you end up burning. I just burned half a tank of fuel today in this car alone. And in my daily driver, the Elantra, I actually drove that. I had to pick up some furniture that I ordered. I drove that for, I don't know, probably put 60 miles on it today. I put 141 miles on this car between today and yesterday, which is insane. But anyway, it's July 4th week, and I'm having fun. I took the week off work, so I'm trying to, have a little fun and get to know this car as much as I can, and that's where I'm at. Oh, the radio's on. There we go.